Channel 10.
We used to like CNN, Channel 10, and we used to think that people would catch on.
You know,
but if you're not from Queens, if you don't got Time Warner or whatever, like, well, I didn't know that.
Do it, yo. Yo, word up, man. It's a different channel, son. Word up, on, man. Word up, watch the channel, son. Different plane now, man.
It's all good.
Word up, all good, baby, in every hood, son. Word up, yo. CNN, Network, Channel 10. It's on again. Street niggas is grown men. Whoa, face, get in your face. Stay in place, yo, crime lace. Cast more beef than Scarface. CNN, Network, Channel 10. It's on again. Street niggas that's grown men. Whoa, face, get in your face. Stay in place, yo, crime lace. Cast more beef than Scarface.
Yo.
Yo.
Welcome back once again. This is the Channel 10 Podcast. It is I, the Almighty A.R, tick in the building, and I'm alongside
Singodsuperior.
And feels like it's been a long time since we've chopped it up a little bit. Before we get into it, you have anything to plug?
Sure. For those of you who are new to the podcast, or for you, those of you who don't know, I came out with an EP a little while back entitled Korous. Abstract hip hop, a mixture of abstract hip hop and a little bit of boom bap, kind of psychedelic or whatever like that. So you can check that out on Tidal, Bandcamp, Spotify, Apple Music, pretty much wherever you get your music. It is there. So just go ahead and check that out. And follow me on Twitter at Singodsuperior.
Yeah, Singodsuperior.com.
Yeah, that too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, no doubt. And as always, you can also check out, my Baltimore club music project, Polyrhythms. It's by 410 Music Factory. That's my club music alter ego, 410musicfactory.com. Also, wherever else you get music from, Tidal, Spotify, Apple, etc., etc. veganrapnerd.com. Check that out. Got some pictures of some vegan treats, and I'm probably going to be writing some articles. I think I want to make that like my blog for writing when I get some time. And then, please rate, subscribe, like, and favorite, and all that on channel10podcast.com, on iTunes, on Stitcher, on SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcast from. It does a lot to help us out. And yeah, man, it's a lot going on since we last spoke.
Yeah, no doubt.
As usual, a lot of new music. A lot of new music, a lot of things in the social sphere, a lot of race, just a lot of everything, man. I don't even know where to begin this one.
Well, I did have this thing. So, I guess education and race, they kind of go hand in hand in class and everything like that. And well, I guess I'd rather not exactly say what I do. But I've been working with like different tests and stuff like that, helping different test makers out and everything like that. And just when it comes to like looking at like the different kinds of like essays that people do and stuff like that, it's just really clear the people who have money and don't have money. And it's just really, I don't know. It's like, because I was doing some work today on it, and I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of uncomfortable in a way. Now, the reason why I say this is that, like you can just tell when someone gets like a particular kind of tutor, and at least when it comes like to these the writing aspects of these kinds of tests, they just have like a particular kind of formula that pretty much every like tutor, pretty much that almost damn near every tutor like kind of follows, and so you can just see it over and over and over again. And so when you look it over, it's like, well, they just kind of follow the rules. So even if it's not good, just the fact that they just knew how to get ahead, they get a decent score on it. As opposed to someone who doesn't really know how to go about doing it, so they just write whatever, and then it's like, well, shit, you gotta get a bad score. And actually, to me, in certain cases, the ones that are kind of unfocused, they tend to be more interesting than the ones that are the good ones per se.
Because they stray from the formula.
Exactly.
That's interesting. So, do you find that the ones that stray from the formula, do they like, are they structurally deficient? Like the concepts might be there, but it's just not put together right?
Exactly. The concepts are there for the most part, but the structure just isn't there. So, they may just have one long paragraph. But, it makes it harder for, other, people to read it. Yeah, but, reading it will be a bit more interesting than someone talking about, pathos and logos, because they were just told to do that. And then, even when it comes to the people who have been trained, they're like, even though it's supposed to be analysis or whatever like that, the analysis is still nothing more than regurgitation in some kind of weird way that I can't exactly put in words, compared to someone who may not have that kind of structure, but they just tend to be a bit more creative when it comes to their analysis, or they may try to add in parts of their life or something like that.
So it's like they don't know the rules to the game, so they just kind of do whatever, which I guess is detrimental in the end. But if they had that financial backing to learn those types of things, then it would be a different story.
Yeah, exactly. Because when it comes to the people who who have the money, you can just tell their essays are just kind of cold. And they just know they're doing it just so they can just get ahead and get it over with. The other people, they're actually trying to actually write and put out their thoughts. And now it's really uncomfortable.
You feel like sometimes that you're like an overseer? Like, you have to look at somebody who might come from a similar background as you and kind of tell them what they're doing to mess up, but you kind of understand where they're coming from, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just really weird, man. And I think I told you this in private. I never really thought I'd be doing what I'm doing, and never ever thought about it.
That's the thing about life, man. It's like whatever you thought you were gonna do, you're not gonna do. I ran into a guy on the subway recently, and he said, the best way to make God laugh. And I said, how is that? And he said, tell him your plans.
I like that.
He said, tell God your plans. That's the best way to make God laugh, because you already know that's not going to happen. And this guy was on his way to his alcohol rehab program, and he said that he already knew that he was going to fail his breathalyzer test, but maybe hopefully he won't, because if he passes the test, then he can become his own payee for his benefits, and his brother doesn't have to get the money. And that was an interesting start to my day on that particular day.
I've had many of those kinds of conversations starting my day in Baltimore.
Man, in my line of work, for my day job, I'm not going to say exactly what I do either, because, to be honest, it's kind of dangerous to let people know what I do, because people, they don't play. But I have these conversations on a very frequent basis, and it definitely adds some perspective to life. We really could be in that situation of a lot of people, so we're really lucky, and hopefully one day you guys all listen to the podcast and share it with your friends, and we can get lots of sponsors so we can use that money to do something for the people.
Yeah. Start going on tour like Combat Jack or whatever like that. You know?
Yeah.
Really touching the people all across the world.
Yeah. But, you know, all those things are, you know, coming into fruition. So definitely keep supporting and stay tuned. But yeah, man, on a musical level, I just pulled up Tidal, and some of this stuff I didn't even realize came out. Like Britney Spears has an album out called Glory.
Yeah, I hear that it's her, like, it's supposed to be like the comeback album for her or some shit.
And I see Prophets of Rage actually came out. I gotta check that out. Of course, De La Soul. And then you have Jeffrey. There's Rich Crack Baby by Young Dolph.
Yeah, I hear it's good.
I gotta check it out. I think I've only heard one of his songs on the radio before. I mean, it shows how disconnected I am. I probably shouldn't say that. But it's true. I don't know. I mean, right now,
we are some pretty disconnected motherfuckers.
I mean, this is probably the most disconnected I've been for a while. I mean, right now, of the recent music that's come out, the things that I find myself listening to most are Party Next Door, Chance the Rapper, DJ Khaled, Schoolboy Q. And actually, I find myself listening to some Gucci Mane's new album from time to time. And then sometimes I listen to The Life of Pablo.
I've gone back to the album actually every so often. And you know, speaking of The Life of Pablo, well, I kind of ran into the person that person I've talked about on a previous. I think it was the actually I don't know which episode it was at this point, but the one who came to me and she told me that she liked The Life of Pablo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that was interesting. I don't know. I guess, like, going back to that conversation, I don't know, just, you know, this how people consume music now, how younger people understand it.
I don't know. So I wonder what people were looking at. Like, it's a musical level, it's a lyrical level, and the lyrics have definitely taken a backslide. And like I was saying before we started recording, you know, when it comes to younger people, a lot of times I wonder what they're listening for. Like, because when I was coming up, I was listening for a certain thing. I was listening for you know, the wordplay aspect of it. I sound mad old, but I had lyrics on my wall. I had Big L on my wall. I had Eminem. I had Cannabis. I had Saigon. I had Cassidy. I had these different I had bars on my wall. You remember?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, you can't, I guess, you can't cut a hip hop code about the source or print out a Young Thug song from Rap Genius and put it on your wall. Like, back in the day, damn, I'm sound old. We used to go to ola.com and print out the lyrics at school and just read lyrics. You know, like, matter of fact, I'm really going to date myself here. Before the prevalence of high-speed internet in the community, we had forums, these message boards. You know, before Twitter and social media, we had message boards, and people would just write bars and put them on there and have battles, and it was a whole community of us doing that on battleboards.com. Shout out to Split Visions. A couple people actually from there who actually doing their thing. Shout out to Scans. He won the Ruckus 50 or whatever back in the day. He's doing this thing. He went to Drexel. He's doing this thing in Philly and Jersey. Shout out to Hardcore, the MC. He's doing this thing down in Florida. But yeah, battleboys.com, rapmusic.com forums. You used to type out your lyrics and put them up. And niggas would just read lyrics. Now, I don't know.
I mean, it still lives on, at least with the Temple of Darts on Wu-Tangcorp.com. You know?
Yeah. But I don't know, like, I find myself liking Chance and Vic Mensa and Vince Staples and Schoolboy Q, because there's something there. A bunch of songs on this DJ Khaled Major Key. Nas shut it down on there. Big Sean, I'm actually excited for his album. I don't know if you people he's been doing, but he's been taking pictures with all these people like Rick Rubin and Jay-Z and stuff like that. Apparently he's only letting legends listen to his album right now.
Yeah, I saw the picture with him and Jay-Z, but I didn't understand it until you just said that. I haven't listened to none of that shit. I mean, I haven't listened to the Khaled's album yet either.
That shit is dope. For the most part. I don't know, man. It's like, I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm kind of getting left behind. So it's like I'm trying to catch up on things, but it's like, what is there to really catch up on? Like certain things are hot right now, but are they really gonna last?
I think some things will last.
Like, I don't know. And then at the same time, you have this new De La Soul album, which I skimmed through a little bit. Skimming through it, I couldn't really. I think I started liking it more the more I started listening to it. I gotta go back to it and listen to it more in depth, but even that didn't hit me like I thought it would. But my favorite De La Soul albums aren't most people's favorite De La Soul albums. Like, my favorite De La Soul is I think the first two Artificial Intelligence joints.
Oh yeah, that's it's pretty late.
Yeah. But that's when I was coming up, that's what the box was playing. That joint they had Redman, that ooh 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 ooh.
Yeah.
So it's like, when I think of De La, that's what I was listening to.
Well, have you did you listen to this Who Kids The Lost Flash Drive mixtape?
No, I actually just downloaded it before we got on. I haven't had a chance to listen to that yet. Have you?
No, I just saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to listen to. These unreleased junior records. I don't know, man. Like, I miss G-Unit. Like, even after they kind of left for a bit, and then they had that resurgence when they would start dropping those mixtapes on This Is 50. Like, that whole era, I just miss it. And then even when they came back like a year or two ago, I was hoping they were going to keep that moving. And Kid, I was excited for him. But it's like, where y'all at? And then, 50 and Game sat down and had a conversation. And I was like, oh, maybe they might do some stuff with Game. But 50 was like, he's basically just in the same space he was in with Game before. He couldn't figure out why he had an issue. So, and 50 is more focused on power. Cameron, looking for something from him. Purple Haze 2 supposed to come out. I don't know, man. It's just like, I'm getting my old man on right now.
I mean, the thing about like these unreleased G-Unit songs, like I just have a feeling that there'll probably be unreleased G-Unit songs from like 2013.
Maybe, I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Did you know Master P has a new mixtape?
Yeah, I saw it on Dat Piff as I was listening to one of Juicy J's older mixtapes.
Mm.
And I said I'm going to listen to it. And I never listened to it.
I saw it on Dat Piff because I get Dat Piff updates on my phone that killed my battery for some reason. And it said Master P is hot this week. And I was like, what the fuck year am I in?
Well, I'm pretty sure. What's Fat Troll probably won't be on that mixtape.
Yeah, Fat Troll is on Maybach Music now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to DMV DC in the building. But
man, I don't know. Maybe I'll go. I mean, I listened to I skimmed through DJ Paul's mixtape.
What'd you think of it?
Yeah. It's not. I mean, it's not really my thing. Like maybe if it was just him, I would like it more. But he just has too many features on
it. You know what? You're right. This is like junior tracks from 2013 because they all have Kid on them.
When I saw that, I said, "Oh shit!" And I'm thinking about fucking God's Plan, all these other kinds of mixtapes. And I'm like, what beat could they have used back then? And I'm like, you know what? Wait. Nope, it's probably for 2013.
I mean, like, I don't know, man. God's Plan is just so hard. Like, that was one of those life-changing mixtapes when I heard that shit. When I heard G-Unit on that 8 Mile beat, that down, and the way Lloyd Banks just floated on that track, like, I don't know, man. Like, and then Lloyd Banks, he just keeps stepping his lyrical game up. I think he needs to work on his hooks, but
and no one pays attention.
Yeah, he needs to do something. It's funny because I was listening to Joe Budden's podcast and he was talking about, like, from that era, there's certain dudes, like you have Fab who just be killing it. You have Joe, and then you have people like Cassidy who we were talking about off air, and you have Lloyd Banks, and those Mo Money in the Bank mixtapes. And then once he got into his PLK mode with the laid back type of production and he's just saying whatever, like, that's the type of shit that you just write to. Like you listen to it and just kind of just break it down and just give you a certain type of feeling. And like the type of feeling I get from that versus, I guess, the newer music that's out, I don't know. It's just it's very different. Like, it's more introspective. And I think that's the thing that's missing from a lot of new music is the introspection aspect of it.
Mm.
Like, it'll be here and there a little bit. I think Young Thug has this one joint on his new album. It's called Swiss Beats. And
why is it called Swiss Beats?
Oh, because his album is all people who inspired him. Like, so the first song is Wyclef Jean, and that joint, I actually kind of like it. And then he has Floyd Mayweather, then he has Swiss Beats, then he has Future Swag, where he kind of does a Future type impersonation. Then he has Riri, then he has Guwap, then he has Harambe.
Okay.
Then he has Webby, and then he has Kanye West, which is featuring Wyclef Jean.
Okay.
So it's kind of funny how he opens it up and ends it with Wyclef. Wyclef is another dude who this is a mean tangent, but I've randomly got into Wyclef one day and just listened to like a lot of his albums, and I didn't realize how dope he is.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Carnival album is ill, and then like on all his albums, he does like some like soca calypso type thing at the end, which is kind of dope. And it has a Haitian twist. I forget exactly what you call that type of music, but like it kind of gives you an interesting perspective in a Young Thug to see who his influences are.
I mean,
but like somebody on Twitter was breaking down the stuff that Young Thug was saying, and like Swiss Beats, like when you really listen to what he's saying, he's talking about working hard and having love for yourself. And like when you, I guess this goes back into reading the lyrics, when they actually typed it out and broke it down, and about how this is like a self-empowering anthem, I was like, that's kind of, yeah, I kind of see what you're saying right there. And it gave me a new perspective on this song I didn't really like.
I mean, when it comes to introspection, I think Future does that up to a point.
Yeah.
Well, his whole method is that he'll have the one introspective joint at the end of a song. I mean, at the end of like a mixtape.
I mean, I think he did it more so on his big commercial album. Like he was always talking about his cousin and like talking more so about his life and how he came up. And I really don't hear that much from Future these days. I think he's going to run. I think he's going to run whatever he's doing now into the ground and get the most money out of it as possible. And I think he's that talented to where he has some whole other shit that he's going to unleash, but he just want to get his money out of this shit first.
I mean, well, I thought that he was just going to like literally just like slowly spoon feed people like his pop star persona, so he can just go to a whole new level.
I think he's going to do it, and you can kind of see the transition. Like the songs on his last joint, E.T. with DJ Esco, like they seem a bit more produced. Some of them. And some of them seem more like R&B records, and they seem like, I don't know, they seem more like he's putting together a song versus just saying what's on his mind. It's probably why I didn't like it as much. But
yeah, I didn't really care for it that much either.
But it seemed like there's more effort and arrangement and, you know, putting things together on his part. So, you know, I think maybe now the switch is happening for him. But it's real funny, because you know, what's his name got out of jail? True Life, yeah. And you know, he refers to Future as Meathead. Because you know, he and Future, they were mad tight back in the day, and he knew Future when Future's rap name was Meathead. And they have hella songs together. And you know, he was talking about, because I remember this too, Future shout out True Life on the song, and people were like, why the fuck is Future shouting out True Life? But apparently True Life is Dungeon Family.
Small world.
Yeah,
maybe we'll get a True Life Future mixtape.
that's possible. And then another thing I didn't know about True Life is that his first album was supposed to have the first song with Jay-Z and Nas together, but the song was never finished because he got locked up. It's like, damn, I can't go to jail. Like, I can't do it. Like,
you miss out on a lot of shit, man.
But like, I guess speaking of Dungeon Family, have you heard Frank Ocean's albums?
Nah. I mean, I was never interested in listening to a first Frank Ocean album, man, let alone a second one or a third one. Shit.
Well, one thing I forgot is that Frank Ocean released this project. Well, I don't know if he released it or if it was leaked or whatever, but basically it's like hundreds of tracks, or it's over 100 tracks As you know, he's had his label battle since day one. Mm-hmm. So I forgot about that. So I got to go back and listen to that. But he released a visual album through Def Jam. And it's only on Apple Music. And it's only the video. And then the next day he drops a whole nother album independent. You heard about that?
Yeah.
And that's just crazy. I skimmed through the visual album. I'm trying to find a link to it where somebody broke it down to the tracks. Then the other joint, Blonde, it's pretty cool. Like, I don't like it as much as I like Nostalgia Ultra or the tracks that I heard off of the second album, which I still have been meaning to listen to. But the only thing about listening to Frank Ocean is like sometimes you'll be listening to it and then like I'll listen to the last song and I was like, yo, this shit is dope. And then he alludes to certain things. And then he gets into, both our parts are the same, talking about man parts and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh man, I didn't know this was what I listened to.
I don't know. I got kind of used to that shit when you just listening to various glam rock and other forms of rock and roll and shit like that.
Yeah, I think it's different. At least for me, it's different because when I hear R&B, it puts me in a certain type of zone, and it kind of is I guess, what do you call it, cognitive dissonance when something that's not a part of that universe for me enters that universe. But at the same time, dope music is dope music, so it is what it is.
I like that. Was it that off his first album? That was it, Pyramid Song or Pyramids?
Yeah,
I like that song.
That song is crazy, and I was listening to Joe Budden podcast because he's talking about Frank Ocean, and he was like, Frank Ocean has had his label battles from day one. Like Nostalgia Ultra was supposed to be released through Def Jam, like how they did with Drake shit. You drop a mixtape and then you re-release it as an album, but they never put it out as an album. Then they were upset. His first album was supposed to drop, and his single was Pyramid. That's a 7-minute song, and they weren't trying to hear that shit. But it's like sometimes I think, like how you were saying earlier about formulas and things like that. Like sometimes it doesn't matter about the formula or what the research shows is right. Like Pyramids is a 7-minute song and it needs to be 7 minutes. Just the way that shit just sounds and the way it builds and changes. Like, let that shit be what it is.
Yeah, well, even still, there is a way to, I'm pretty sure there's a shortened version of it now, but well, at least I would assume there is. But I don't know, whenever I was around a whole bunch of females, they really just want to play Pyramids. They didn't play too many other things on Frank Ocean's album.
I don't either. I need to find who produced that record and find out what else they produced, because that shit is hard.
Probably Frank Ocean.
I like Frank Ocean's voice though. It's different.
Well, I saw some posts where they said that he's netted $1 million off of Blonde so far.
He sold 250,000 in the first 2 days or something, and this is straight independent. And I think on the Joe Budden podcast they were saying, it's interesting hearing his perspective because he was signed to Def Jam, and basically once a label decides not to keep you on, or if your contract expires, usually you sign a non-compete clause to where you can't release music for a certain period of time. And basically Frank Ocean almost definitely had that in his contract, but probably he worked it out to Apple Music to where they probably gonna pay whatever fines he gets. And
well, Apple has billions of dollars in cash.
They have more money than the United States government. All the fucking taxes we pay. But I think the interesting thing is that after that shit, Universal Music Group declared that nobody under any of their subsidiaries can release an exclusive to any of these streaming services anymore. So
it's only a matter of time anyway.
Yeah, but you know, of course, Jay-Z's empire, I don't think falls under the Universal Music Group empire, even though Universal Music Group is probably like 70% of the music industry at this point. But I think his joint is through, well, one is through Live Nation, and then I think it's through Warner. I'm not sure though. But you know, Jay is you know, he's doing something special with Tidal, and he's probably going to sell to Apple, but he's probably building it up, and he's probably wants some astronomical number for it before he gives it up, because you know their exclusive content is just amazing.
I mean, Apple has exclusive content too.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they have exclusive content, but like I don't know if it's just because Tidal is it seems to be, you know, focused to niggas.
Yeah, exactly.
But I find Tidal's exclusive content more appealing. Like they had a Reasonable Doubt documentary. They have a 10-year anniversary of Rick Ross's album on there. They had like the super exclusive Jeezy anniversary concert. They had the Tidal X concerts. They had the Africa shit, that African music festival that they put on. And then Rock Nation signed, I don't know if you're up on Tiwa Savage from Nigeria, but she's dope. And she got a bunch of songs with Wizkid. What else did they do? They have Money and Violence on there. Nick Jonas has a TV show on Tidal. Prince, his catalog is on Tidal.
Yeah.
Daft Punk has this exclusive hour and 12-minute thing on Tidal. Dream has a documentary on here. Like, it's a lot of different things on here that's pretty interesting.
Dream has a documentary on there.
Yeah, Genesis. I think last year or earlier this year, he dropped a project. Dream, that's another one. He be dropping a lot of shit that goes under the radar. But he dropped a project recently and a documentary or some type of like video thing to go with it.
I had no idea.
Yeah. But it's oh yeah, Elliot Wilson has a show on Tidal.
Yeah, I try to listen. Whenever I try to listen to it, I fall asleep. Or watch it, rather.
But
I mean, it's really just him going backstage talking to people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's the point of, like, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about that sometimes.
I mean, get your money. Like, I admire people who are able to monetize the regular shit that they do in life. Like, this nigga is regularly backstage or has access to be backstage at a show. So, this is what I'm doing right now. Somebody needs to pay me for this. Like, I'm trying to get to a point where niggas pay me to be alive.
I mean, but all right, but believe me, I'm all for that. But it's just, I guess it's just funny when the outside looking in, where like, I think I tried to watch like the first one, or whatever that show is called, and I think it was like a Joey Badass concert or like ASAP, one that ASAP I don't know, whatever it was, but it was literally just him walking backstage, and like just being regular, and then I guess he like it seemed as if like he kind of like forgot that the camera was there, so he was like, "Oh yeah, we about to go backstage," and so some people, he just goes around and starts talking to people, and it becomes like a fucking 20-minute episode, and then with like different shots of like the concert in between, and I'm like, man, I can't watch this.
It's not for you to watch, man. You woke.
I mean, well, I watched the Future documentaries, and actually, I haven't watched the newest one, whatever that is.
I gotta watch that. Maybe they give me some inspiration. Like, I gotta get on my music documentary game. Another thing about Tidal too is like Jay-Z will randomly drop a playlist. So like he drops his songs for survival, and it's just interesting to see like the type of music that different people listen to. Like he started off with Free by Goody Mob, then he gets into Curtis Mayfield and Nina Simone, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Gil Scott-Heron, Fela Kuti, Bob Marley, James Brown.
And you believe that these playlists are really from Jay-Z?
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, man.
I mean, then he gets into Kanye West. Then he has some Kendrick on there. Then some more Bob Marley. Then some Common. Then some Beyonce and Kendrick Lamar. Then some Nina Simone.
I mean, I don't know these things. I don't know, man. Where's the Mobb Deep? Where's the Wu-Tang? I don't know. Like,
I mean, this is like his. I mean, that particular playlist was his revolutionary joint. Let me see. So he did a Prince and Michael Jackson playlist. He did a Vibes playlist. So this has Kanye, Rihanna, Bryson Tiller, Future, 2 Chainz. I guess this is all new type shit. Here's a Jacleshula Skadu. Oh, okay, I see. He did an Erykah Badu and Jill Scott playlist. He got a Fuck the Summer Up playlist. This has a bunch of new type people. Damn, he even put Drake on there. Yeah, Summer Sauce 2. This is a bunch of new type shit mixed with some. Oh, he has Bout It. True, Master P and me, feature Master P and Mia X. It's a lot of South type shit, a lot of Future, some UGK. Jay-Z first title. It says J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Outkast, Future. Yeah, there's no Mobb Deep one. He got some Mos Def. But I don't know. I mean, he doesn't really strike me as a New York listen to nigga type of person, because from the stories, he was really influenced by the South from selling drugs down there. Mm-hmm. And that's why he wanted to get UGK on the record. That's when Pimp C didn't want to do that shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, not saying that these don't come from him, but I just feel like the playlists are a bit more calculated.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some calculation to it, but I mean, I don't know. I think it's natural for a human being to like put a lot into making a playlist. At least, when you're a musical dude, like, when I'm making a playlist or I'm making a CD for the car or something like that, like, I'm here like really making this playlist, like trying to get this shit perfect. And I take pride in it, and I think he might do the same thing, because I think we all have an inner DJ.
Mm-hmm. How profound of you.
Like, I think that's one thing I've always wanted to be in life, is a DJ, and I think we all have that in us. And I think the DJ is the foundation of hip hop.
Well, man, you all sounding like really old right now, man, on this episode. Damn.
I mean,
speaking of that, have you I think it's like the founding fathers. It's about a documentary about like the original like like pre-hip hop DJs like of the 70s.
Nah, where'd you find that?
Well, it's on I think last time I checked, it's on YouTube. It's like I think Ice-T is the narrator. I came across it on, I think Fab Five Freddy was talking about it on like one of the early Combat Jack episodes I listened to like 2 summers ago. And I found it, but I just never watched it yet. And so like when you just said the thing about the DJ, that documentary came to my mind.
Yeah, we gotta start making playlists of like documentaries on YouTube and stuff. Cause I gotta see that.
Yeah, man, we do, man. Gotta, you know, like they have this documentary about the TR-303. The thing is, I don't know, like it's like a cross between like just like a little documentary, but then like an employee documentary. It's like really weird. It's like 20 minutes, and I haven't watched it yet, but it kind of goes like the history of like the whole Roland Empire and stuff like that.
Shout out to Roland. They sponsored the show. I performed at one time. They need to sponsor this podcast and send me some equipment.
Yeah, like how they do some people we know. Shit. Oh man. I don't know, maybe we should just keep this like, you know, keep this as a short episode.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just call this no guest. We just wanted to catch up with the people. I wanna shout out to Baltimore. I wanna shout out everybody who's doing it in Baltimore. I want to support Baltimore. I see there's a support Baltimore hashtag. I want to blow that up. Shout out to Jordannah Elizabeth on our last episode. Shout out to D. Watkins. Shout out to just everybody who's out here doing it in Baltimore. Brandon Soderberg, City Paper,
JPEG Mafia.
Shout out to this girl on Twitter, Mira Lashea. I retweeted some of her songs. She has a song called Black Lives Matter that I like a lot. She's an R&B singer, and she has another song I like a lot too. She's pretty dope. And shout out Tay Cobain. He got this record I like called Oh My. So yeah, I think that's it for me.
All right. Nope. I don't have shit to really say at this point.
Well, thank you for checking us out. Channel 10 Podcast in the building once again. Make sure you check out the Wu-Tang Podcast. We're gonna drop that soon, a new episode. And we out. Peace.
Feeling is here. Yeah, son, you feel it, man. Word up, son. You gotta just do it, yo. Yo, word up, man. It's a different channel, son. Word up, on, man. Word up, watch the channel, son. Different plane now, man. It's all good. Word up, all good, baby, in every hood, son. Word up, yo. CNN, Network, Channel 10. It's on again. Street niggas is grown men. Bold face, gat in your face. Stay in place, yo. Crime lace. Cats more beef than Scarface. CNN, Network, Channel 10, it's on again. Street niggas, that's grown men. Bold face, gat in your face. Stay in place, yo, crime lace. Cats more beef.